Ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about a very important topic known as TikTok brain and why you need to avoid it because it's going to turn you dumb. Now this is seriously affecting the youth of today, but it's also affecting some older people as well. Now I'm hoping by you watching this video and realizing the negative consequences of continuously consuming short form content, you can take proactive steps to protect yourself along with your friends and family. So what is TikTok brain? TikTok brain refers to the negative effects that occur when the application is used excessively. And let's be honest, everyone who is using TikTok is using it excessively. These negative effects can cause issues with your cognitive abilities such as attention span, information retention and critical thinking, but it can also affect your dopamine systems and your impulse control, leading to addiction. Now for those who don't know, TikTok is a video sharing social media platform where users can upload and share short form content with the world and for others to consume. Now it's called TikTok brain, but as we know, every other social media company out there is now pumping out short form content, including YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, etc. But the term TikTok brain probably does sound more appropriate because it is the worst social media application out of all of them. I mean, go on there for like 1 week and I promise you'll be brain dead and you won't even realize it. It also does negatively impact your mental and emotional health. Think anxiety, depression, negative self-image, low self-esteem, etc. Now unfortunately, TikTok is not going anywhere. It's going to get more and more popular as time goes on, and we can expect to see these negative consequences continue as each year passes by. It's gotten so bad that most people now include TikTok into their everyday life for hours and hours on end. But what does this actually look like? Well, if they're young, they'll go to school. If they're an adult, they'll go to work. Whilst they're there, they'll take every opportunity to check the large amounts of notifications that TikTok sends to their phone, along with other social media apps. I mean, they'll compulsively check these notifications out or even sneak off to the bathroom to view the latest video from their favorite influencers. When they come home from work or school, they'll spend all evening on TikTok, mindlessly scrolling to get mentally stimulated and get a new rush of dopamine. This usually happens as they are laying in bed, moping around depressed. Now that sounds quite morbid, but why is this happening everywhere? How does TikTok actually do this? Well, once you install the app, it will present you with lots of different short videos to watch. Now depending on which ones you watch the most or engage with, it will begin to recommend more and more of those videos to you at a rapid pace. So for example, let's say you take a regular person and they're interested in makeup, traveling, extreme sports, dancing and pranks. Once the algorithm recognizes that these are your interests, it will overload you with infinite amounts of content related to those subjects. As you know, this is in the form of short form content, so it gives you just enough to whet your appetite and crave the next video. Now because you're truly interested in these areas and subjects, this naturally excites you. Each time a new video shows up, your dopamine in your brain shoots through the roof. Do this enough times and you become addicted. It's quite similar to smoking weed or doing coke, except this is all digital. Now TikTok is giving users instant gratification and satisfying their cravings for new stimuli whenever they need it. Now when I was a kid and you didn't listen in school, the teachers would always make a light-hearted joke saying, "You have the attention span of a goldfish." Everyone would laugh at this ridiculous claim because no one's attention span could be that bad, not like a goldfish. Well actually, it turns out our attention spans have actually gone down. In fact, there was a Microsoft study back in 2015 stating that goldfish have an attention span of 9 seconds and that people nowadays lose concentration after 8 seconds. In fact, the average attention span in the year 2000 was 12 seconds. 15 years later, in 2015, it is 8 seconds. And we're almost 10 years on from that time period, so God knows where it is now. I think we can all agree that people's attention span and the need for short-term gratification has certainly shortened over the years. But you know what? Let's dig deeper for a more recent study that took place in 2021, and this was from the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights. Now they had undertaken a study of the effects of mobile phone use and other devices with internet on school children. They collected responses about smartphone use from 3,491 children aged between 8 and 18 years old, and they found the following. Around 37.15% of children experience reduced levels of concentration due to smartphone use, and 23.80% of children use smartphones whilst they are in bed before going to sleep. Additionally, 42% stated that they had a social media account. 93.5% of children believe the world is addicted to their smartphone. Now those are some very interesting statistics. So here we have a study showing a reduction in children of attention span. But to be fair, TikTok isn't solely responsible for this. This is down to smartphone use in general. Most of these applications, and especially the social media applications, are designed to keep you addicted to said app for as long as possible. TikTok just seems to be the company that has mastered the addiction cycle. And as stated previously, other app developers and social media platforms are beginning to use their methods all over the internet. I mean, look into your own personal lives. Get someone to watch a 5-minute video these days. They can't do it. Try and get them to read 5 pages from a book. They'll fall apart. They'll fall asleep, or they'll struggle to even go through 2 pages, let alone 5. Get someone to sit there and meditate for 10 minutes. It'll be like hell for them. They can't do it. Their brains are addicted to distraction, short-form content, and instant gratification. Now, it's only natural to assume that all of this smartphone use and use of TikTok would have some negative psychological consequences. In fact, a 2021 study that looked at the impact of mobile phones on users' psychological well-being, they found that an increase in the use of mobile phones can result in psychological consequences such as anxiety, depression, fatigue, and exhaustion. They stated, "Our findings show that cognitive emotional preoccupation has negative and significant relationships with psychological well-being. This study predicts that the concentration demand of social networking sites, text messages, calls, and other mobile features grab users' attention, influencing their negative emotional reactions and behaviors, and ultimately lowering users' psychological well-being. Users with high levels of cognitive emotional preoccupation with the internet will experience more negative outcomes. Therefore, users who spend more time online are more likely to exhibit an increase in depression and social separation." So you can see that not only is TikTok making people lose attention and becoming addicted, but general smartphone use is also contributing, leading to depression, anxiety, and of course a reduction in attention span. Now the problem is only going to get worse as social media companies and tech figures out new ways to get you addicted. Once AI is properly introduced and implemented across these platforms, I suspect new measures to addict people will skyrocket and this issue will become much worse. But what can you do? What can your friends and family do to avoid this problem? Well, educating yourself is one measure, and certainly this video shows you the negative consequences of excessive smartphone use and especially TikTok use. More practical methods are going to be what we've always stated on this channel for the past few months. Number 1, turn off all social media notifications on your phone. If that's not enough and you continuously run back to these applications to check if there's any updates, then I recommend uninstalling all social media applications completely. Number 2, use your smartphone only at certain times throughout the day. Could be the morning, afternoon and evening, or could just be the morning and evening. It's entirely up to you. Number 3, meditate. That has been proven to increase your attention span and lower anxiety and depression. And number 4, read books to increase your attention span. When you first start doing this, you're going to see real quick what I discussed in this video, how you can barely get through a few pages. But over time, you'll get used to reading multiple pages and your attention span will gradually improve. Next, watch longer form content. Try not to be one of these people who watch the first 30 seconds of a video, then have to impulsively click off because they're not getting a super dopamine rush. Try and watch at least 5 minutes of long form content and then build up gradually. And finally, if all else fails and you're truly addicted, get professional help. There's nothing wrong with that. If you need help, you need help. So what do you guys think? I mean, TikTok brain is literally taken over. I mean, you can see it in the real world when you go out there. People's attention spans have gone to crap. They can barely hold eye contact. People are more anxious than ever. And smartphone use is becoming more of a problem as each year passes. But as I say, I'll be interested to hear what you guys say in the comments. Have you experienced TikTok brain? Do you know anyone else that has TikTok brain? And what has your experience been in general when it comes to the use of TikTok? I Hopefully this video has helped you guys out. Be sure to share it with anyone who you think would benefit from this type of information. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe because we've got more videos like this coming out in the next week. As always, I will speak to you guys next time. Take care. Peace.